from the air to on the ground, the government facilitated leading executives of the country's two parliamentary parties to get a first-hand look of works on the Amaila Falls road. Completion of the road is one of the key benchmarks that has to be met for the government to secure financing for the Amaila Falls hydro project, which it says will provide cheap power to spur development and make it lighter on the pockets of ordinary electricity consumers. The main opposition party, APNU, said a major headache is that the contractors underestimated the scope and nature of the works, so the deadlines would most likely be missed. And in addition, they say the original contract costs of $15.4 million is expected to be doubled. The contract to build the road was first given to Phip Motilal, the man who it was later found never built a road and was instead running a puja shop selling religious items in the United States. He was fired at the start of 2012 and the project was put in the hands of various contractors. It was the work of these various contractors that the opposition wanted to see firsthand, and they discovered that the section most behind is Section 7, which leads directly to Amaila Falls.
The contract was first of all awarded to Phip Motilal, and for that Section 7, my understanding is close to $1.2 million was spent on that section by him. The contract was then given to Pasha Engineering, and my understanding is that close to $1.5 million spent on that Section 7. Now it is given to China Rail. The contract sum is $8.5 million. So you see there already close to $11 million spent on just one section. So that the idea that the $15.4 million which was to be spent on this road by Synergy was clearly not going to be the figure that we're working with.
In recent times, the government revised the project cost several times, as disclosed by Mr. Ronald Bulkan, another executive of APNU who was also on the tour this weekend.
In the 2012 budget, the total project cost was given at $3.792 billion, and the request in 2012 was for $2.35 billion, all of which the opposition approved. In 2013, mysteriously, the total project cost was given at $5.23 billion, with no explanation to the opposition. That's an increase of $1.44 billion. And the budgetary request in 2013, what was declared to have been spent in 2012 or before 2013 was $2 billion of the $2.35 that was requested and allocated. In 2013, a further $2.35 billion was requested of the National Assembly, all of which was approved.
In the original contract, Motilal was required to cut the path for the transmission line, which will take the power from Amaila Falls to the various distribution points. APNU today said the new contracts to the various contractors does not make provision for cutting this path for the transmission line, adding further uncertainty to the cost of the entire project. According to APNU, the government was willing to provide adequate answers to questions asked, but more information would be required. APNU said the engagement was a good beginning and the party hopes it would set the standard for openness in the provision of timely and critical information relating to projects which affect the nation. The main opposition party would be interested in seeing the power purchase agreement with the Ghana Power and Light Company, which will reveal if indeed electricity costs would go down.